Hi, I'm Maud. Today I wanted to tell you about running. So I've always been pretty athletic. I did gymnastics as a kid, and skiing, and a little bit of some swimming. Not really. I never got good at swimming, and um, I've always been pretty athletic. But I never had really hand-eye coordination, and so I didn't ever do like softball or soccer or basically any sport with any type of racket or anything. I mean, I did tennis for a while, but I never enjoyed it. Um, so I got to high school, and it was like the recruitment day, like, registration or whatever. And a girl came up to me, and she was like, "Hey, you should join the cross country team." So my mom did track and field when she was in high school, and I have some cousins who also do cross country and track and field, so I kind of knew a little bit about it, but not much. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Because, when at those registration days, you just have no idea what's going on, and you just sign up for everything because you don't know that you're not going to have any time in high school. So that's what I did, and I decided that I would do cross country. And I went to practice on, like, I don't know, once I got my physical, like on maybe the second week of school, freshman year. And on the first day, what we did was we ran 2 miles. Now, when you're a kid in America, what happens is once a year during PE, you have to run the mile. And it's like this big event, and it's such a long distance, you can hardly fathom it. A whole mile! And it's just such a daunting task to have to like make those 4 laps around the track, and it just seems impossible. So, I show up first day, and coach goes, "Yeah, run 2 miles." I mean, it was crazy. I I could not even believe that we were running 2 miles, multiple miles in one day. Um, so that was fun. And then by the end of the third week, I had ran like 7 miles, and I don't know. I initially started at 10-minute pace, so 10 minutes a mile, um, and that was good. It was a good pace to begin at. But I remember this one day, there was a girl who was coming back from her run, and she was like one of the cool fast girls. So I was like, I'm just gonna run with her and just see what happens. Because it was on the way back, so I knew that it wasn't gonna be terrible or anything because I would finish the run soon. So I just ran back with her, and then I got back to practice. And the next day, my coach said, "Yeah, you're running with her from now on." So she's a senior. She was a senior, and that's what happened. I got to run with her that whole year, and it was really fun. And I got really fast. I mean, not really fast. I got pretty fast. And actually, our team won sections that year, and I got to go to state as a freshman. So that was very fun. Um, so yeah, I ran cross country that year, and I ran track that year too. And in track, I guess if you don't know much about track, it's basically all these sorts of events all kind of get jumbled together just because they're around the track. So it's track and field, and so there's things like hurdles, and there's high jump, long jump, shot put, disc. Some schools have javelin and like pole vault, which is the one where you like run with a stick and then go wee. And so I was a distance runner because I had done cross country and was pretty good at it. So yeah, I mainly just did the distances of the 800 mile and 2 mile. The 800, anyone who runs track can tell you that the 800 is like death. It is death. It's 2 laps around the track, and you're essentially supposed to sprint the entire time. It's so painful. You want to die. Like, the first lap, you're like, okay, I can handle this. I can handle this. And then the 100 meters on the next lap, you're like, yeah, I can handle this. And then you die. You just die. You can't breathe, and you can't see anything, and you're just running, and you're trying to go so fast, and you know that there's gonna be like 200 more meters that are really, really, really hard, and then the last 100 meters where you're just like, just everything, and yeah, it's such a difficult mentally, physically, it's a very strenuous event. So I didn't like that much, but I did like the 1 mile. Well, the 1600. which is 4 laps around the track. So you wouldn't expect me to like a longer distance, but it's just a whole different mentality. You kind of, since it's such a long distance, you don't have to think that you're supposed to be sprinting the whole time. Because that's just ridiculous. If you start sprinting in the beginning, you're just going to be exhausted. It's ridiculous. I mean, of course, like Olympic runners, their non-sprinting is my sprinting, but you know. So 1600. I love the 1600. I talk about it a lot. It's such a good event. You start off pretty fast for this first lap, you know, just because you have all that energy and you want to use it. And then the second lap, you know, you're kind of using momentum and just sort of sticking with the pace. Maybe you might slow down a bit, but you don't really want to. And then the third lap, it gets hard. The third lap is really, really hard because you're running and you're tired and you know that there's still a whole other lap after that. So the third lap is hard. And then the fourth lap is just magical. You're just like flying and it's like done and you're so fast and it's amazing. So there's this event called the DMED, which is the distance medley. I guess it's also referred to as the DMR, distance medley relay, where there are 4 people and they each do a different distance. So it starts off with the 1200, which is 3 laps, which is like so difficult to run. And then it's the 400, which is just 1 lap, which that one is also very difficult to run, but it's not as bad as the 800. So it's 1200, 400, and then 800, which is 2 laps, and then 1600. So when I was a freshman, there were these 3 girls on the team. There were a lot of girls on the team, but there were these 3 specific girls who were all very fast, very athletic, everything. And my coach was like, okay, I'm just going to make the fastest relay team we can make. So at the time, I had the fastest mile on the team. It was only about 6:30, but it was the fastest on the team. 6:30 is, yeah. Anyway, I'm only saying that like that because I got faster after that. So in this distance medley relay, it was these 3 girls and me, and they were all seniors, and they were all just so intimidating and so fast, and like these are the girls who've gone to state in track. They're just wild fast. I mean, they were just my idols. So getting to run with them was like, what? So, since the 1600 is the last event, you know, I'm watching and these girls are going and, you know, I'm getting ready to run and, I'm so nervous, and then I get the baton and I just go. And I just run it really well. I run the mile really well, and I'm really proud of how I ran. Even though when I look at videos, like, my form was terrible, and, you know, I can critique it now, but I did really well, and I didn't know how fast I was going or anything, because, you know, it's, on the time, it says, like, 15 minutes, because there's already been 3 people ahead of you, so you have no idea how fast you're going. But I finished it, and my coach came up and told me the time, and I had ran 5 minutes and 52 seconds. So I was so proud of myself, having PR'd by like 40 seconds. It's ridiculous. That doesn't happen very often. I mean, it happens in freshman year, but I was just very proud of myself for having done that. And that kind of sort of launched me into really loving to run. And I got faster that year. I ran a 5:45. And then the next year I got faster. I ended up running a 5:26.8, and that frustrated me because I was about 1 second away from running at state. So that was fun. And then junior year, I kind of mentally wasn't in it as much, which is pretty sad because I did love it so much. So my times kind of got messed up, but that's okay. And senior year, I left the school, and I haven't really been running as much, which I kind of wish I was, because running, it's really excellent for you physically. You know, it's so much cardio, and you just have so much muscle and so much energy, but also mentally, like, getting to run on the trails every day, it's like meditation. It's like, you get, like, you know, just all this time in your own head, and that was really, really excellent for me. So I'm really glad I got that opportunity, and I think I will definitely run in the future. Anyway, that's my video for the day. Tell me if you have any questions. Thank you.